Hear me okay?
Yes, Madan, go ahead.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me bring up my screen. Thank you for that introduction. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Like Abhilash said, thank you very much for joining. This is a series of webinars that Industech is putting together to kind of bring an audience from the medium segment, medium manufacturing segment and line builder community to understand more on the digital technologies available. I have a very short uh, time slot for a brief keynote. What I thought I would do is, though we are going to focus the rest of the session on simulating digital processes, I thought I'll expand the view a little bit on how we could look at overall organization level digitalization as a whole, and look at a couple of quick trends so that I can let we can move into the rest of the content for the day. So I'm really focusing my keynote specifically for mid-sized enterprises who are in the business of building industrial machinery or in the process of setting up automation lines for their end customers, who could be in multiple verticals like automotive, aerospace, industrial manufacturing, pharmaceutical, and so on. The trends typically driving this industry are customer-driven customization. That means that you are engineering this product specific to each unique customer. That means you're building products to a lot size of one. That brings new complexities which are related to capturing all of the artifacts for that particular engineering of that equipment, and also maintaining that information throughout the life cycle of the product as your machine serves at your end customer. And of course, these are going into environments which are smart. So that's where the need for smart machines, which are taking decisions on their own or orchestrating themselves in a larger automated smart manufacturing setup. And those are two major trends. And organizations who are in this business of building industrial machinery or line building are aspiring towards global markets. That means they're acquiring partners globally. They're also led by second generation entrepreneurs who are looking at expanding their business beyond India. They've served the country for a longest time. That brings in whole new complexities in terms of what the organization need to be ready with. Plus, they're exploring new business models and new revenue streams like connected machines and product as a service. And these are some of the trends which are very much taking this industry in a very positive direction. But since these organizations have come of age through engineering and manufacturing through fairly traditional methods, they're also constantly sandwiched by these pressures. And we cannot deny that these are challenges that they deal with on a daily basis, which are requirements related to customer needs as well as industrial compliance. The product is becoming more complex. It's highly mechatronics and automated. There are continuous improvement initiatives within the organization trying to compress your product development time and improve quality. And you're also aspiring to acquire global customers, which adds its own complexity of regulations and requirements that you need to meet, right? And you could probably be in a situation where you're designing in one location and building elsewhere, and that brings in collaborative challenges as well. So the opportunities are there, the trends are moving in the right direction, the challenges are limiting organizations to achieve their true potential. So in order to optimize manufacturing productivity and win in the marketplace, manufacturers must collaborate efficiently throughout their entire organization. So today's topic that Industech has put together is a pillar of what digitalization could potentially be for your organizations. And we will try to expand on this subject to other areas in the future webinars. What I intend to say is that I would like all of you to realize that digitalization is definitely not a choice, but it's not a compulsion either. What I would influence all of you to consider digitalization as a competitive advantage. That means you want to be better than your competitor, you want to be more agile than your peer who's bidding in the same project, so you can win it in with a small margin and then ensure that you're able to retain the customer throughout the life cycle. So you have to differentiate yourself, build a framework or infrastructure within your organization which is personalized information to all of your different stakeholders. and choose a partner who will bring in a flexible open ecosystem so that you can integrate to your existing legacy systems that's already running your business. There is no real need to rip and replace. And all of these dimensions would bring you significant competitive advantage against your peers in the industry and help you win more business. With that, I wanted to just little bit deep dive while just pin down on what that could potentially look for an organization of your size, that's medium enterprise, which is obviously you're designing and engineering quite a bit of complex products. There needs to be a significant amount of discipline. Many organizations would have achieved fair amount of maturity in the engineering space, but the middle function, which is core to getting the products out with the right quality in the shortest possible time, can still be using multiple silos of environments. Now, to bring significant amount of digital maturity in the middle area, which is the core manufacturing, you need to look at ideas of transforming your engineering information seamlessly to the downstream activities. So the process planning, process validation, simulation, as much as possible digitally before you commission your new plants or new end customers lines is the key subject we are talking about today. But the real value in a much larger scale comes when you look at your enterprise flow of information in a very, very structured fashion. And of course, the differentiation comes in execution when you're able to deliver and maintain as-built configurations because you're building a product of lot size 1, and then all of the work instructions are delivered in a very intuitive digital fashion so that the customer who's consuming that information is also making best use of your assets or your infrastructure. So this is one fairly detailed, but again, let's step back a little bit and look at the areas that are key to digitalization, and these are building blocks that you could pick up to improve your digital maturity. And I'm representing the same thing in a slightly more functional fashion, that while the information is seamlessly flowing downstream to monitor your real production and the asset in the field, the idea is also to bring that information back into the enterprise to enable a continuously improving agile product development and manufacturing organization. So that there are two other technologies which enable the data which comes from the shop floor, connectivity to machines and real-time visibility like OEE, and also Mendix, which can be the conduit to connect to your assets in the field and establish seamless integration between Siemens enterprise systems and your existing enterprise system. And this becomes a cyclic process. So there's a much larger vision. Okay? I'm going to quickly end this in my keynote with this slide, that there is no denying that digitalization is delivered value, continues to deliver value. And these are some proven metrics across multiple functions of the organization, which organizations need to consider seriously before choosing technologies and deploying them to really what is the outcome that you expect and stay focused on that. So if you look at the second item in here, manufacturing planning and process optimization can potentially deliver 40% faster production plans. In your case, if you're building lines for your customers, simulating the entire process digitally before you start shipping your products would be much more meaningful, because in the on-site trials, you'll probably go to production significantly faster. There'll be no big issues that you need to iron out. So with that, I want to stop here and let you go through the rest of the session. And if you have any questions for me, I can probably answer them towards the end. Thank you, and have a good session.